Welcome to Grace Conversations. We are so blessed and so honored to have Anna Zumwalt as our special guest today. And right before we started in on our this little radio talk here, she just came up with an amazing question and she got all excited. So Anna, what was your question?
It's because we were just talking about what to talk about, and it's kind of like thinking what to talk about, and it kind of reminded me of when I told you like during the video that I do weddings, and sometimes things spontaneously happen to talk about, and if something does for you, please interrupt.
Okay.
Because I haven't asked anybody this question in a while, but sometimes it's really fun, and it's like my kind of like I think it's like my little signature icebreaker question. And that is, okay, so we were talking about last names, and I told you, my married last name, Zumwalt, means go to the woods, and that my maiden name, Weller, came from the German infinitive, to choose. And so now I'm curious about your last name, if you know the meaning of it, and I'm kind of curious where people's, like what brought, okay, maybe you are Native American, but you also look European-ish to me too, so I'm wondering like why your family came here.
Oh, it's a great question, and I unfortunately don't really know why my family came here. I should probably do a little research on that. I know that I am Irish and Scottish and English. And there's a little teeny bit of German in there somewhere back in the DNA.
Well, just from telling me that, I'll tell you, your family were fleeing the law.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yes.
Just teasing.
Actually, my son has done more investigation than me, and he says that there's a great person. My last name is Gordon. It's Bonnie Elizabeth Gordon, and we had a great somebody way back there that actually was an indentured servant, because the Irish were indentured servants. They were indentured servants, and it was in the United States.
Yeah.
And this Gordon in the back of my family must have had I must have a little bit of him in me or whatever. Because
well, you're the great Bonnie.
Great granddaughter of this gentleman. Well, he fought. He went to court. He hired an attorney. He was a slave. And he hired an attorney, and he actually freed the Irish from indentured servitude.
I didn't realize they were actually slaves.
Yeah, slaves. They were slaves. They did not have the same freedom in this country as they did. I mean, my son would know better. But what he's told me is that he's very proud of this lineage, and I am too, because part of my message I was born into is freedom. I mean, that is probably the crux of, if anybody knows me.
It's your heritage.
It's my heritage. It's in my blood.
Freedom.
And so if anyone, when people ask, what is that you would want in the world? What would be you? What are you for? I'd say that all beings are spiritually free.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. That is your heritage, fighting for freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that spiritual freedom, I mean, we want to be free in all ways. But even if we are physically free, but we're not spiritually free.
Yeah, it's the same. It's still,
we're imprisoned, or we're trapped with our powers.
Yeah. We were talking about the subconscious, and I think that oh my gosh, that's something that you said, previous guest star, Diana Fawn, you said about being a transformer, which is very cool, like the toys Transformers, but not that. You weren't talking about it. You were talking about, electrical transformers, and, on Facebook I have a raccoon. Never Google raccoon on the internet, because you'll see, unfortunately, a lot of transformers, but the transformer of being a spiritual transformer, that was huge. And that's what you're doing, because when you're not liberated spiritually, you really don't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move at all, you're stuck. Yeah.
And when and I think there's a huge group of humanity leaders that are really, we're all working together as human beings, helping to bring this spiritual liberation into the planet, and then that infiltrates into all the other areas of our life.
Bonnie, we've got to step up our game.
Yeah.
I mean, look what's going on.
We do, yeah, we do.
Oh my word.
Yeah, we do. And what's what we're doing? I mean, we're stepping up our game.
Yes, you are.
We are, you
We
are. We are together
Yeah.
as a because it's about cooperation now. It's a cooperative paradigm that we're stepping into.
Without a doubt. And you said that your method is, your calling, your heritage is freeing people from slavery, from their spiritual slavery. And mine is that I've recently, and I don't know how this factors into my history or whatever, but I identify with Dr. Xavier. You know who he is? From the X-Men, finding mutants and helping them discover their power.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
I don't think
I can see, I can see you doing that. I can see you doing that.
So glad you don't see me as a mutant.
No, well, I mean, I see myself as, I don't know, it was funny, I was thinking the other day about
That was a
what.
very
what-
bad thing for me to say, wasn't it? I
No,
apologize
no,
to all
no,
of you.
You know, but I mean, I was thinking the other day, I was thinking, gosh, I just like look at my life and I've been a misfit in so many ways, or.
See, you're a mutant too.
I know, I'm a mutant too, but it's like that, the Chiron, they say, the wounded healer, And I think a lot of the people that are stepping up in their power right now and really being able to make a difference in the world are the wounded healers, because we can help the people that right now are in a space of woundedness. And we can say, we've been there.
Yes, yeah.
We know what it's like. We know we can help
Yeah.
bring you into a place of healing.
Yeah. And I feel like my perspective of it is the best tool that we have is to encourage people. You and Diana were talking about fear and how fear is only just this perceived wall of your capabilities, but when you not be afraid of your fear, but push it, feel it, and then push past it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, that's what we're doing. That's why I love doing hypnotherapy with people. Because people come to me when they're at the they don't see any other alternatives.
Yeah.
And I see them as a mutant about to discover their superpower and to be the next world leader.
Yeah.
God, we need leaders.
I know, it's just so powerful, Anne, and I like to take that that interpretation that you just it invited everybody into, is that when people are at the end of their rope, when they're at their wits' end, when they're facing that fear, they're in that space of the dark night of the soul, whatever you might want to call it, and they come to you to do the hypnotherapy or your Zen priest sitting meditations or whatever it is that they are drawn to,
Or your yoga.
or and that we see that, like, this isn't that you're steeped in fear and there's anything wrong with you. This is that you are on the brink
Yes.
of awakening to the incredible, profound power and grace that you are.
And we need you
We need you.
to step up, push past whatever you've been holding you back, and in your freedom, stop global warming.
And then, and start to
'Cause
help
it's
the
hard
world.
in here.
Literally.
Clean up the oceans, right?
Yeah, whatever, everybody has a profound purpose and they're all just equally important, and we need everybody to be in their destinies so that we can all cooperatively create the best world we can, day to day, moment to moment. And those, when you have people come in that are in those spaces, and we all have been there, we're stepping into our power so that we can help people. And those people that are, wherever we're at, whatever we're going through, like you had said, then they can turn around and they can help other people that are in the same situation. They have more insight and more compassion and empathy, and they'll even have more credibility with the people.
Yeah, and more power.
Yeah.
Are we on time? Do we need to think of more things? Oh,
Oh, we have
what is
5 more
that?
minutes.
He's saying we're crazy.
Oh. Wrap it up in 5 crazy. Hey, I hope I'm crazy.
Okay, now that's an opener. Why do you think you're crazy? Or why do you hope you're crazy?
Well, you know, I've always feared being I've always feared being crazy.
So you're pushing past your fear.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I had a mother that had a mental illness, so of course, you know, growing up, I always feared going crazy like my mother.
Interesting.
I always feared that.
I think that's very common, actually.
Now, what has come to me is that I am so grateful for my mother's DNA. I am so grateful for my mother's DNA. I needed that crazy gene.
To meet your mutant power.
Exactly. Because there's just people that know me that are close to me. Diana Fawn, she's in the audience here. I mean, I can be a little crazy sometimes, right?
I need to hear stories.
I mean, and don't you know, aren't you grateful for the part of you that can be fully self-expressed and a little out there? Don't you think the people that are really leading the world are people that can go beyond the status quo, beyond the conventions, that are a little bit, that can risk it?
As long as I like it. Yes, I do agree. I do agree. And I actually, that's something I admire in Trump. I said it, okay? Yeah, that he goes beyond. And that also made me think, I wonder if that's, you know, to go to the woods, you know, because usually that's where my, you know, crazy liberty is free, but maybe that's a challenge, is to see the whole world as the woods or wherever, and to let your craziness.
Yeah, and it's about, you know, I mean, it's like with my mother, she was very ungrounded. She still is very ungrounded with her self-expression. And hopefully I've learned a little bit from that, so that I can take that self-expression and that boldness and ground it in a way that it can be helpful for humanity.
That's very powerful. That's interesting. Because I hadn't thought of that. The craziness. And that's what it is. It's feeling ungrounded. But when you're ungrounded, you're self-expressing, but you're kind of like the Tasmanian devil, or like JC, but it's not really helping. It's not helping. You know, at least it's not helping ground it. I'm gonna think about what you just said.
Yeah, but if you look at a lot of the really people that, like, look at Gandhi, for example, or something, even Jesus Christ, for goodness sake. I mean, you know, if he was just a quiet, very good boy,
Carl, where would we be now?
totally conventional, following all the rules. He was a rebel.
So were your ancestors.
Yeah. Thank God for the rebels. Yeah, come to the camp out next year, the late nighters.
I promise.
That like, you know, stay up till 2, 3 in the morning around the fire from, like, you know, everyone else leaves at about 11 or 12, and then the rebels sit around from midnight to 3 a.m.
I hope there's
we are a fun group of people. We are.
Okay, I hope there's a little bit of alcohol. Okay, I should mention that.
Well,
Maybe,
yeah.
if I bring it, there will
We
be.
won't say so, because, you know, but trust me, there's whatever you really, you know, yeah, we won't say it. We'll talk after this.
Okay, there's pine needles and
You'll have fun, you'll be comfortable.
rocks and sticks.
You'll love it, everyone will love you, and you'll love everyone. Yeah. Well, Anna, thank you so much
Bonnie, thank
for
you.
being here. I love you, and I cherish you, and I just really deeply respect you and what you're doing in the world, transforming lives and people, and really getting out there in so many corners through the schools and the law enforcement and the community on all different levels.
Igualmente.
Yes, and I want to be at the next Hypnosis movie star for women, because, yeah.
This one's men are invited to this one too. Come on.
Okay, I'll go.
As long as there's a Brad Pitt there or something. Just kidding. Who is your favorite actor?
You know, when I saw that email, I have to kind of think about it. Tinkerbell.
Okay. Actually, we are thinking of doing a fairies. I want to do a fairy one too.
Tinkerbell's kind of my fan.
All right, do Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
Tinkerbell's
she's just,
little
she's
rock star.
magical and she's
Yeah.
got all those powers, but she's mischievous.
She gets it done.
She can be a little trickster. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't follow the rules. Not all of them. I like her spirit.
Me too. All right, we should just do a Tinkerbell.
Who's your
one.
favorite, Anna?
I don't know. Now I'm going to say Tinkerbell.
Okay. Found it.
I hadn't thought of that. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Well, thank you so much,
thank you.
Anna. And we have a live audience for this one, so let's give Anna
Well, let's give you guys, everybody else.
everyone a hand.
Everybody.